All right, we're live. This thing is on. This is the Trusty Ape, part of the Trusty Ape Co. Family of networks, network family. Yeah, we do that thing. Anyway, here to address a couple things because I didn't really want to leave it hanging. It's like it's a current event. We have to, we have to be, like going with it's with the times, right? We have to be current, and we can't be in the past or the future. We have to be in the present because it is always now. So there were a couple things to address. First off, I think I misspoke when I was talking about this yesterday, and I was talking about the apostate sisters, and I had mistaken. So the apostate sisters are their own thing. They're like a newer YouTube thing over the last couple of years. Not to be mistaken for like I was thinking of apostate Ashley, who's got like an older channel, and then also I think Apostacy is Stacy from the Stacy's Mom podcast that she was referring to, who was actually at the conference. As far as I remember, I think that's accurate. So yeah, but that apostate Ashley is different. She's not part of the apostate sisters, totally different thing. And also Stacy's mom is its own thing. Um, so again, there's many characters and moving parts in these current events. And I've been following Uncle Bobby over here, who's been covering this because he's a Jay Bundy fan. Let's be honest. So he's taken the side of Jay Bundy, like fuck all these people and all this. But then this morning he released this video, which I thought was very interesting. We're not gonna watch the whole thing, but just to get into it a little bit here, because we were covering this, and I gave my hot take yesterday, and this popped, and so I've been watching some of the coverage. So let's see this, and then we'll go back to the original video.
All right, morning, gang. I started this channel because I wanted to have some fun, right? For those of us that were unplugging from the Christian matrix, that's what this was for. I don't want to lose focus on why it is I started this channel. First one got snatched up. Now this one, we're making some leeway. So I say, yay. There are some times where a topic is just so important that you got to touch on it. You got to touch on it. I bash Christian apologists. I'm a former Christian. Lots of you guys are former Christians. It's our therapy. But all that being said, when you sit here and you watch what's going on with like the bullshit with the Trump presidency, you're just like, we got to take a break from the Christian apologetic stuff. Let's talk about this. This is way more important. I will not apologize for the fire in my belly when it comes to the topic of sex crimes. That's something I take very seriously and personally. You guys should. It's an important fucking topic, don't you think? Absolutely. So I will spin off and attack that topic because it's very, very, very important. All that being said, and make sure you get all the way through this. Don't mutate these clips. Listen to me.
I've already watched the whole video, and I'm not. It's even though it's 9 minutes. Like I think the important part is right here, and then the rest speaks for itself. The original video is in the description if you want to watch it. Right, like go subscribe to Uncle Bobby. He's got some fucking wisdom to spread. But there's an important point that comes up here, and is also addressed in the comments, and it was something that we kind of touched on in our previous coverage here, which I think is the most essential point.
If you're big enough to accuse, you should be big enough to apologize. And I have misspoke. So I'm going to acknowledge that. I am. I put the word rape and Elliot in the same sentence. And apparently I was wrong. Wrong.
Right. She never said that. In her statement, she never claimed to have been raped. That is your assumption by the fact of a mere mention of his dick making a brief appearance. Right. That was actually what she said. She did not describe a rape. And she described being physically assaulted and psychologically abused in that encounter, apparently, right? Whether it was sexual in nature kind of remains up in the air, and this is kind of a really weird component of this story. But she did not describe a rape explicitly, as she did with many other events that took place that night. And so, yeah, it leaves it really ambiguous.
Oh, I don't want my name dragged in the mud. You guys don't want your name dragged in the mud. He didn't rape her. I 100% acknowledge what I said, and I'm apologizing. If it got back to Elliot, show him this. I misspoke. Apologize.
My bad. But no, is it just your bad? Like for people, so it's like I think it's one degree of disgusting for somebody to actually commit that type of act, and it's another degree of disgusting for somebody to accuse that person falsely or imply that that person has committed that type of act, right? Um, it's even the mere accusation or the implication that that was what happened, right, can have huge impacts in a person's life. Right? It's going to damage their socials, their social circles. It's going to damage their possibly their employment opportunities. Just having the accusation, right? Like you are trying to damage that person permanently when you make that accusation. And if it is not so, and you don't say explicitly that it is not so, that they did not do that thing that, you may have implied, right? It's pretty big. Like there's a bunch of people on the internet now running around calling this guy a rapist. And that accusation was never, in fact, made by the alleged victim here. There was hmm, another comment I'm looking for here. I'm not seeing it. I see the user. I don't know. Can I search it? It was there last night. Maybe they deleted it. Maybe it's been changed or something. Um, well, it was a comment from Ways to Human. And I know AJ has been getting a lot of shit too, for kind of remaining neutral and rational in this. But it looks like the original comment that I am looking for. Oh, maybe that was from the previous video. Maybe because this is the one that popped this morning. Maybe it was a comment on the previous video. I don't know if it's. AJ made a really good point in one of these comments that kind of related to what we're talking about at this particular moment. Maybe it was on the update. Yeah, he's been doing a bit of coverage on this. So I have a very unpopular opinion in there as well. Being sexual is not a crime. I mean, yeah, no, it is not, Carrie Ann. But again, we don't entirely know it. Oh yeah, okay, maybe this is the comment I am looking at. Yeah, Waste Human said, "Are you kidding me? Please educate yourself on situations you don't understand before making statements like this. If you read the letter, there is nowhere that that word is used. Nowhere. That was never Nancy's claim. The only person that used the word was her sister Patty. That was Patty's story, not Nancy's." And this is getting so beyond slanderous, absolutely ridiculous. I would suggest that you correct yourself on that absolutely unhinged false claim you just made. And please stop speaking for a woman you have never met. If you want to speak for Patty, go for it, have at it, but please stop speaking for Nancy. Right? This was like just so on point to me. I was like, what? Because it didn't say that. It didn't even approximate that. She said his dick made a brief appearance. And this is not the way that people describe sexual assaults most of the time. I'm not saying that people can't have different ways of expressing the thing that you're talking about, but I mean, this is just some highly unusual shit, right? Highly unusual shit. And so I encourage people to, because it's not a small thing to go out and call a guy a rapist, right? It is not a small thing. It's not just gonna, you know, uh, regardless of legal outcomes or anything like that, it's not just gonna. He's not gonna be able to just like brush it off, right? He's going to live with that for the rest of his life. That accusation, whether true or not. And I really think we need to be more responsible when we're talking about these things and teaching people like how they should handle situations like this. people, I think, believe inherently because they have a community, they have a public, like a soapbox, that they should automatically go out and deliver the message that way. And that's not really the appropriate way to handle a lot of really personal, intimate details of your life, right? And it makes you subject to inquiry as well, right? Like, but I don't know. It's the way of the world these days, I suppose. And what is this fucking Carl's Jr. ad?
You're beating the beat.
There's so many fucking ads on this video. Like, how much money are they making off of this? Crazy. It's cray cray.
Whoa.
What?
What's that? I just built a budget.
Another ad? We just finished the ad. It showed her for like less than a second.
App in
And now
base
we're in another
44.
ad.
Guys,
They've monetized the shit out of this.
Nina just built an app.
Impossible.
Nina can't code.
Interesting.
Like, you can adjust that as a content creator. I think if you're monetized, you can like adjust for how many ads are running during one of your videos, right? Like for like percentage wise or something. Hey, Halsey, good to see you. My spiritual journey is ongoing. I'm having a rough one of it today, though. I'm having one of those days where I really did not want to wake up, and I'm only motivated for this, and I have no idea why. It's all bizarre. So, but yeah, I'm alive and I'm kicking, and that's what counts, I suppose. And I have a meeting with the bishop tomorrow. And I'm probably going to be called to do perform services in the priesthood. That's the next step. So you have to have a job. Once you're in the church, they give you a job, and so that's how you do that. And then maybe paying tithes. I don't know. We have to talk about all that as well because they have not paid any tithes. So yeah, that's the long and the short of that one.
Soon after, I received a text message from Elliot asking if I was okay. Patty recommended that I not respond or start any dialogue with my abuser, but I didn't heed her advice. I wanted to resolve this and try to understand why it happened so I could hopefully put it behind me. I texted Elliot back, telling him I wasn't okay and asked if he even remembered anything from last night. He said barely, then said,
He was like, not really. I don't remember none of that shit. But, are you okay? Well, that sounds like a reasonable person. Yeah, I mean, the more you read into this, it really does sound like they got like shit-faced drunk or did some some drugs together or something. She and it's always the way that she will just like accuse him like he was really fucked up, and it's like you were drinking too. You were buying drinks according to your story, and then at some point you must have lost count because you said you had two, and then you said you had three, but at the end of the thing, I think it's really interesting that we seem to have these portions of the account which are very, very clear and vivid. And then we have whole sections of the story that are missing, discombobulated, don't make fucking sense. And as well, I think we missed that comment. There was another comment from AJ where there are multiple other witnesses saying contradictory that, rather than him aggressively kissing her out in the front, right? There's all these people saying, no, she was aggressively up on him in the lobby in front of everybody. Like in a way that is like very obviously like, sexually, charged and all of that stuff. So, yeah, definitely some contrary stories going on there. But.
Sorry he was. This would be the first step in my slow decline into quick forgiveness of his actions and ultimately...
I think just the literary faux pas there. There was a first step in the slow decline to quick forgiveness. What? I'm sorry. The first step in the slow process of doing something quickly. I'm sorry. It's that no. You made a mistake, Agatha. I'm sorry, but we can't accept that one. Your publisher is going to have to edit that.
His absolution without punishment. I was actually embarrassed to admit.
Absolution without punishment. Well, at this point, right? So I guess she's saying she didn't press charges after all. That's what maybe she should have done. If any of this story was true, not sure that it is. It really doesn't add up. It does not line up with reality very well. Okay. And then, so you still at this point, right? Like, I think you're within the statute of limitations to file a case, right? It's just harder to gather evidence, which you probably should have done back then. But you could still file a case. But now you are actually effectively trying to get retribution, right? This is your act of getting back at him. This is the vindictiveness. This public statement, telling this whole story and putting it on the internet and blasting the guy. That is now your retribution. So it's not without, right? It's not like there are no consequences. There are now consequences. And you have created the circumstances for that rather than going by the law and the system of justice that we would tend to go by normally. Whether this is better or worse, I mean, that may be a subjective thing. I don't know.
what had occurred and wanted this to be resolved as soon as possible without anyone knowing besides Elliot, myself, Stacy, and my sister.
Hey, Spooky, good to see you. Ads are cray on some stream. Yeah, especially this one. And Big John Lovell, good to see you. Rowdy Ape Guy. Yeah, maybe I stream better when I'm tired. I don't know what it is. I'm like, oh, I want to go to bed. Fuck all this shit.
Religious trauma had a hand in my decision, as I'm no stranger to sexual assault and have been in situations before where I was blamed for the actions of the man. I also still believed him to be a friend, especially after his apology, which softened my anger over what had happened.
So now that she says that she has been a victim before, and she was blamed as a victim, and she's like comparing it to the church and stuff, but again, she never explicitly accuses him of an essay here, but she does imply it in the brief appearance of his dick or whatever, I suppose, right? But once again, like this reads more like a smear campaign than a victim statement. And honestly, in some parts of it, it almost reads more like Patty herself wrote it. And I think that's kind of the thing that AJ is alluding to here too, that like she seems to have taken liberties with this and inserting herself as like, nah, I told you stop talking to the guy, which is what you would do if you had been assaulted. But it's not clear whether or not she has been assaulted, and whether she's taking appropriate actions to address that if that happens.
My hopes of dealing with this on my own didn't last long, as I next received a text from Stacy saying that what happened to me was criminal activity, and I needed to report it to authorities immediately.
You don't
I vehemently refused, not having any faith in our justice system from previous reports of mine that had never been properly dealt with.
Oh my goodness. What? Okay, so that could happen. I mean, yeah, mishandling of cases can happen. Doesn't mean you just stop, you just find, you go to the next person. Like, that's the best thing you can do. The justice system does not work perfectly. But that's, I mean, it's interesting because it's akin to the logic of, well, I'm just going to hire some dude off the street to like break his legs. Like, might as well do that, right? But no, now we can do a smear campaign on the internet. That's the new justice.
At the very least, I just wanted this to stay within the atheist community, because at that time, I believed we were a family that supported each other.
Hey, he doesn't have atheist in front of his name. It's a secular. Don't confuse us with those fucking secularists, man. I'm not one of those guys. But come on.
Whatever Elliot may have been going through to cause him to do this, I wanted to get to the bottom of it and try to help him. Jeez. I now had a responsibility to ensure that this was only an isolated event, and that...
What? How would you possibly ensure that he doesn't assault another person if you can't even, like... What are you talking about? What?
He hadn't ever done anything like this prior, or ever would again. But
well,
I
wouldn't know if nobody ever fucking reported it, now would you?
Very wrong in my characterization of who he was. And it took time for all the pieces of who this man was to come together. and it was a long and painful road. Stacy went on to call me and say that she had contacted the security official of NanoCon, Elliot Cantor, to inform him of what happened. While I appreciated her efforts to protect me, this now made me very nervous. I didn't want the confrontation or stress of reliving the incident. As silly as that sounds, the Christian community had taught me to forgive those who hurt me at a level that was always unrealistic.
Wait, so is this a different Elliot? Are we talking about, is this the same guy? I don't know. Is he, he's the head of security? Is it, hold on, I just want to make sure we're reading this right. Who, oh no. No, I can't help you right now. Sorry. I misspelled it. Come on! Fingers don't fail me now. We're looking at this, no. It's, NanoCon. Come on now. You go to the fucking police. You don't go to the, what? Safety coordinator. He's a safety coordinator. So I guess that's kind of the security official, I suppose. Oh yeah, no. That's funny. And this interview is done by AJ. 8 days ago. Answering community concerns. Okay, cool. Well, now you know. There it is.
Believed that if I simply forgave someone to whom I thought was genuinely apologetic, their wrongdoings would simply fade off. With Elliot, I was convinced we could get through this and return to being even stronger friends. Despite the horrors of what he did, I still cared for him and tried to see his humanity beyond his.
It takes 90 seconds for this NASA-engineered AC.
Did somebody say steak? No, he said mistake. Oh, okay. All right, got you.
Mistake. I met with Mr. Cantor that Sunday morning, the last day of the conference. I wanted to leave the lodge immediately and get back to the airport, but my sister was a scheduled speaker, and her presentation was something important I didn't want to miss. So, I feigned a brave face and acted as though nothing was wrong as I got ready and went down to the conference room to meet with Mr. Cantor.
Why? What? You're reporting a problem. Why would you act as if nothing was wrong? That's the opposite of what you're supposed to do. You're telling people that something is very wrong here. What?
He and another woman.
Why are you talking to the security guard? You need to be talking. What the fuck are you talking about? Come on.
My statement, then asked how I wanted to proceed. I told them I wanted to deal with it on my own. Having spent 10 years.
I can't look, and I have had like situations pop up where like there's like an obvious, like a thing going on, and as a security guard, I'm out there like in the public, like this dude is like all over this chick. He's not taking no for an answer, and she's looking around. Nobody's saying anything. I come up and as the guard, like I'm not in my power to like I'm like, hey, could you stop that? Could you, she's saying no. Do you understand? No. Like, and usually they're fucking drunk or whatever, right? But regardless, like even in that position, you don't have the authority to go and physically remove the person. You just can't. They can do it themselves, right? And then if it escalates, you can get involved, right? But up until the point when that happens, you don't have the fucking authority to do that. If somebody doesn't know how to fucking express boundaries, and be, like you have to be able to say no, and it publicly, which never happened. Like this whole story is fucking wild, dude. It's crazy. And I don't buy it, man. I'm really, I'm aggravated, like by the fact that this is like going on and like so many people are spreading this and calling this guy, all manners of fucking, dirtbag. Like, no, you don't just go and fucking willy-nilly make some fucking stories up uh, which is really what this sounds like. Like, what is this fucking presentation? Like, get the fuck out of here. 40 fucking minutes of my life I'm never gonna get back, and it's all bullshit. You are wasting my time. You know, I have to educate children about this shit. I shouldn't have to be talking to adults.
Serving in the Army, including work in military intelligence, I had vast knowledge from trainings in psychology, human behavior, and prison interrogation.
What? What? I spent 10 years in the Army working in military intelligence with a vast knowledge of psychology, human behavior, and prisoner interrogation. And yet I did not read any of the red flags when what the dude, who the fuck are you? What kind of bullshit are you construing here? Just falsehood after falsehood. Oh my fucking god, dude.
While I never revealed this to them, I felt confident in my ability to get Elliot to trust me and reveal who he really was so I could be sure he wasn't a danger to himself or society.
What the fuck are you talking about? What? So now you're going to try to interrogate this person? You're going to try to get them to confess to their sins for you? Who is doing the religious fuckery here? Because it kind of sounds like you. It sounds like you want to make him confess. Make him confess to you so you can expose him and then fix him.
This was an ignorant decision on my part because this situation became larger than I could have imagined. Not only did I not register how serious this was, or what type of person he was, but I would actually tell people not to pull him from events or shows, at least until I could figure him out for myself. I didn't set out on a mission to destroy his life.
Not until now.
I'm a strong person who felt sorry for him, and of whatever caused him to do what he did. It was like he was dealing with...
Can people not, I don't even, never mind. Scratch that one. Just let the thought fucking flow.
Demons, so to speak. And I was determined to find out the driving force behind his apparent pain and ruthlessness. The same couldn't be said for Stacy, her fiancé Drew Beckius, and my sister. He was dead to them, and they started fighting hard to defend me and seek justice. This is something I should have been on board with from the start.
No shit, Sherlock. Wow, you finally figured out the mystery. Oh, what's up, Todd? Good to see you. Listening as I do the windows. Oh, no, yeah, it's a little dreary out here as well. Humanity and me, never. Superhuman soldiers. Yeah, we're like, one of those, the Jean-Claude Van Damme guy. What was that movie? You know what I'm talking about, right? Universal Soldier. Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. And the sequel wasn't bad either. They had the dude from no, not Facts of Life. What was that other fucking show? With that kid, Sasha something. Yeah, he was also really good when he played like the substitute teacher who killed all the kids. That was a good movie as well.
Up to this point, 7 people knew about the incident, including Elliot and myself. I already felt that was too many, and I began to panic. I didn't want Elliot to know that I had spoken to an official about the incident, because then he wouldn't trust me enough to open up to me. Because again, I was trying to handle the situation on my own, and somehow believed I could. I'm a strong empath, and despite someone hurting me, I knew
fuck. No. I can't. No. I think I'm going to have to stop. It said fucking she's a strong empath. Oh no. Oh my fucking god. We are really in the realm of some woo-woo bullshit right now. I mean, this is terrible. Fucking, are you serious? Are you are presenting this to the community of skeptics? I'm a strong empath. Okay. Okay. Yeah, sure, right. We believe you.
Still forgive and move on.
My wife called me lazy because I never do the things I say I'll do. I thought it was depression. We were both wrong. The kitchen.
After the meeting, I entered the main conference room where Elliot was on stage speaking. He saw me right away and became visibly flustered. I didn't want to see or speak to him, but after his panel and during my sister's speech, he came up behind me and rubbed my shoulders, whispering in my ear again how sorry he was.
You let the motherfucker touch you. What is wrong with people? Why? At this point, who are you? You can only blame yourself. You claim this person viciously assaulted you, and you just wanted to understand them, so you let them come back and rub your shoulders. Like, what the fuck are you talking? And you have training in like army intelligence and interrogations. Like this, what is this fucking story? This is not real. This is not you get that this is not real, right? This cannot be fucking real. Maybe, I mean, people this stupid do exist and are comfortable displaying their fucking stupidity for everybody to see and cause drama about. I'm literally crying. This is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. I think this has got to be worse than Shani and Rip. This is worse by far.
Mumbled, "You should be." I was angry and uncomfortable, and he seemed taken aback by my reaction to him. He didn't seem to register my disdain because he sat right next to me throughout the.
You're gonna get banned, Tog. No, no, that's not Tog. That's
I could
Spooky.
feel all
My
eyes
bad.
on us, and I knew everyone was thinking we had sex the night prior.
Are you really? See, now I feel bad because I like you, Spooky. But I don't. Whenever I tried to figure out what the fuck empath, and my ex claimed she was an empath, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" And we had like lengthy conversations about this, and I could never figure out what the fuck she was talking about. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I get what you mean by it, but how is this different from just people having empathy? Is it like is it a superhuman ability of some kind that, is it a spiritual gift? I don't know. Like, what are we talking about right now?
I think he knew this, and him sitting right next to me made it look consensual. Again, I slapped on a smile and pretended that nothing was wrong as not to arouse suspicion. I was still in shock and played as coolly as possible. Once my sister finished her presentation, we quickly got out of there and on our flights back home. Traveling home, I had time to think about what to do next. I was still in both physical and emotional pain. I returned home to discover that my father-in-law in India was dying, and that my husband would have to take an emergency flight out the next day. I grappled with whether to tell my husband of what happened, but left it alone as I didn't want to cause him the added stress of knowing a man assaulted his wife in his absence. He ended up staying abroad for 3 weeks, and this left things.
I feel like she just didn't want to tell him that his dick game was weak, because that was really, I think, a very important point we touched on earlier. She was like, no, the bedroom at home was not on fire for sure. And she was feeling like all the sexual energy at this atheist convention. So
Was open for me to handle this situation. Those next 3 weeks were a tailspin. The first people I reached out to for advice were John Gleason of Godless Engineer and his wife, KC. Within the community, it was them I knew best. My husband and I had even once stayed overnight at their home, so I trusted their opinion on what I should do. I also hoped they knew Elliot better than I did, and could give more insight into his character, since all I really knew of him was what I saw on YouTube. I sent a detailed email to them, explaining the situation, and they had a phone meeting with him. They called me after to report that they believed he was genuinely sorry and took responsibility for his actions, which brought me much relief. They said that he requested to speak to me, and I agreed. That night, Elliot called me, and we spoke for several hours. He began as extremely remorseful, even crying on the phone, softening my anger toward him further. I told him I had forgiven him, but asked him to promise me that he would never do anything like that to anyone again, and he did. We had a long discussion about why he may have done what he did. He stated that he was very drunk, overly tired, and hadn't eaten all day. I wasn't convinced, as I knew he was in far worse shape than all that, but I accepted his answer. He did reveal several personal struggles to me that shall not be mentioned, as this was a private conversation, but I told him that I may be able to help. He mentioned financial struggles that stopped him from getting professional help, such as therapy. I offered to help him, saying that he could call me whenever he needed to discuss something. I wanted to be part of his healing process and witness for myself that he was getting better. The conversation was honestly one of the best I'd had in a long time. We discussed anything and everything, laughed a lot, and were very open with each other. I felt as though our friendship was not only
fucking
fixed.
Shit, what the fuck are you now? You're offering to be this guy's therapist after he allegedly assaulted you? And people telling you to go to the police, and you're like, no, I'm gonna speak to him for several hours. I think I can fix him. It really sounds like she has still has a big crush on this guy at this point. She is just, there's no rationality, there's no logic or reason behind it. This is fucking crazy,
That had
bro.
gotten better as we both tried to move forward.
Body cam footage? No.
For the next
No, it happened like she was kissing him in front of a bunch of people, and they went outside, and all those people assume they went to hook up, right? And then all of a sudden he became violent and angry in private and did his thing. I don't know. We don't. It's not even clear whether he sexually assaulted her. Supposedly he physically assaulted her in other ways and said some fucked up shit. And whipped his dick out at some point, but it's not clear what he did with his dick when he whipped it out. So we're not even really clear that this was a sexual assault or some other kind of assault. But yeah, there's nothing to corroborate this story. It's a he said, she said, and she wrote a lot of words about it. And continued trying to be the guy's therapist for months afterwards, or weeks or months afterwards, presumably.
few days we had some kind of interaction daily, either through texts or phone calls. I wanted to ensure he was checking in with me, so I kept the dialogue day. And not one of these conversations were of a sexual nature. Though much of the interaction was great, one of the calls did cause me alarm. He was clearly on a substance, incoherent, and not really registering anything I was saying. I asked him about it, and he said he was just vaping, which I didn't believe. He was so messed up, he could barely speak aside from laughing strangely. I wasn't convinced he was in his right mind, and assumed he had either taken hard drugs or was in a manic state, just as he was when he attacked me. This new insight would drive me to reach out to others for further advice and clarification. Over the next couple weeks, I had gotten full-body x-rays from my chiropractor at the VA and had my throat checked, as I still had pain. Luckily, there was no bone breakage or permanent damage, though I held on to the paperwork for evidence should I need it. My doctor tried to convince me to go to the police about this incident, as she said the guy really did a number on me. I just responded that I was handling it. My sister Patty also reminded me to take pictures of all my bruises, which I did. I had to be more thorough, as I was starting to doubt that Elliot was the person he tried to portray.
This
Another
is
ad,
the
here it
1,400
comes.
hours a year you waste on your phone. With Purdue Global, you can turn that time into a degree.
Apostate sisters making that
There were
money.
several more people in the atheist community that I reached out to during this time. Dialogues began that contained insight, opinions, some support, shock and horror, and anger. I felt obligated to warn women I felt close to at the time to ensure they kept their guard up around him. When tragedy occurs, it can often bring people closer, and these conversations did just that. My talks with Elliot soon started to fade off as I began to not trust him, and I steered more toward these other content creators for conversation and comfort. With my husband still in India, I began to open up about my sexual struggles with my husband, and what may have led me to flirting with Elliot in the first place.
Oh my goodness, right there. It's in the black and the white, right? She admits it. She admits it earlier, she admits it now. She has sexual frustration at home, and she's acting out in public at events. And then supposedly she has this private encounter with Elliot, who she continues to pursue a relationship with after he supposedly, allegedly, viciously attacks her, right? What are you doing? What, according to your own version of events, your whole fucking head is fucked up right now, and you need to stop. You just need to stop. You've put yourself in this fucking position that you never should have been in. You continue to remain in this position, and now you want sympathy afterwards. I mean, we all have some variation on this for sure, but I mean, this is like the most egregious. I think you're just trying to deny any accountability and make this person out to be a total monster. You really still have like a fairly limited amount of information on, right? You've invested time and energy into this person to try and fix them. But your takeaway is that this person is a monster, right? But you can't actually say this to yourself. You have to have your sister do it for you. Dude, I don't know. I don't know how I can believe this character. This person just does not seem sincere to me. Crazy Love. Hey, welcome, Brojo. Good to see you. Tainted Love. Yeah, we covered that one. And yeah, thank you, Geo Sam, for coming by as well. Much love to everybody. Yeah, it fucking tall tales are spun this way, man. And I think maybe there was some encounter that was probably mostly innocent. You know, there's all fiction is based on some truth or some shit like that, right? And we turn it into this tall tale in our heads. It's like, oh my god, my whole life is spinning out of control because I kissed this guy one night at NanoCon, and now we have to ban NanoCon forever because people aren't listening to me, even though people actually are listening to me. I want more people to listen to me, and I want them to pay me money as well, even if I'm not telling my story. Actually, Patty, would you tell my story for me while we collect ad revenue off this YouTube clip? Thank you. All right, good. Now we're
These
here.
people included, namely, AJ of Ways to Human, Helen of Freethinker Fireside, Bree of
She
Hives.
lists AJ as one of her confidants right there, and people are attacking AJ like all around. She's one of her initial confidants.
Sai and Seth of Ambushed Apostate. I got very close to all of them. Little did I know, all of them would soon turn around to tell lies about me to protect my abuser and betray my trust in the worst possible way.
Oh, okay. See, there it is. And I know Bree as well, so I don't really know Seth or Helen, but I know Bree, and I don't really know AJ well, but I've watched a fair amount of her stuff. And so all of these reputable people, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, are turned against her and telling lies to protect the abuser. You know, I think you're the one that's telling lies. I think this is a fucking fabricated. Yeah, I think this is all bullshit.
It didn't take long after my husband returned for him to sense something was wrong. I was more reserved, wasn't sleeping well, and was even speaking differently. I eventually broke down and told him everything. After a very emotional few days, he convinced me that I absolutely needed to report this incident to the police. He knew I was...
I think that's really what it came down to, and she probably broke down this way because she did do something dishonest. She did deceive her husband. She feels guilt, and she needs to project that guilt onto the other party, in this case Elliot, to make his role in this situation worse than it actually was, to try to alleviate her own guilt for having, whether she had the inclination to cheat or actually did cheat, right? It seems very straightforward to me. She was obviously seeking a sexual encounter. Maybe she got one, maybe she didn't. We don't have the specifics there. But it didn't turn out the way she planned. And she's feeling very guilty and she doesn't want to tell her husband. But eventually she breaks down and she has to tell her husband, actually, I've been in this engagement with another man of the sexual and emotional nature that I have not been telling you about. I've been lying to you all this time about what's actually been going on with me, right? Like, call it for what it is. That's what it is.
Someone who often got flirty when I drank. But he never could have anticipated a man he didn't even know brutally attacking his wife on one of the few occasions he wasn't around to protect me. I agreed, and we began filing an official report of the incident. Another revelation that cemented my decision to press charges was another victim of Elliot's who came out. All this time, Patty was working diligently with my consent to ensure her sister received justice, and that my abuser was stopped and held responsible for his actions. While I can't elaborate on the details as there are people I need to protect, I knew then that this wasn't an isolated event. It was a pattern.
Back to the all caps. And so there's apparently another alleged victim who is not coming out publicly, is not pressing charges, is not mentioned, and is not making a statement of their own. So try to follow this, people. I mean, as we go through, these are the days of our lives. It's like fucking sand in an hourglass or some bullshit like that. Anyway, the the drama is ongoing, and you could choose your sides, but I just think it's important for us in times like these to try to keep a level head, try to be a bit stoic, try to be objective, and really look at the facts as the facts, and pull from our experience that we know that things are not always as they appear to be, and people lie quite often. And it's especially difficult when they say something that gets our emotions charged. We're getting upset, we're getting angry, we want to defend the victim, but are they really the victim? I mean, it's always a reasonable question to ask. What actual events occurred leading up to this point? And do you have any responsibility in this situation? I think everybody is, who is of like the age of reason, has some accountability in any circumstance they wind up in, right? Now, it's going to vary from person to person based on their ability, but it's pretty straightforward if you have an understanding of right and wrong, a little bit of understanding of human nature, and you're going to know, hey, I should not be, hanging out in this alleyway with these kids doing cocaine at 3 a.m. It's probably not the best decision I could make right now, right? So regardless of all that, Elliot, come back to me. Oh yeah, no, it's great. I'm gonna end the fucking thing. I'm gonna end it all. And by that I mean this stream. And I thank everybody who's been in the chat, including and not limited to, because I know that sometimes people come after the show and then they watch later. But we had Halcyonic Kaiju, Big John Level, and this one guy, as well as Spooky Bedhair, Geo Sam, and Brojo in the chat today. And I think I got everybody. And I'm going to say the same thing that I say every time, because I always say the same thing every time at the end. Wait, what was it again? All right, never mind. Stay trusty, motherfuckers, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye.